Hello everyone and welcome to Travel the Globe, the channel for travel connoisseurs, explorers, and for those with a knack for adventure. If you've heard a lot of good things about Canada, from its friendly people to its beautiful scenery, you've probably asked yourself, why haven't I moved to Canada? If you don't know where to go, you should probably watch until the end of this video because our number one pick will be your best choice for a new place to call home. Before we get started with our list, here are a few honorable mentions. Starting with the territories. Even though they aren't provinces and only have a combined population of about 125,000 people, they have a lot of well-paying jobs if you want to get rich. The Northwest Territories have the highest median household income at 154,000 Canadian dollars, and the Yukon isn't too bad either at 129,000 Canadian dollars. Not to mention a 5.2 unemployment rate. Even though an unemployment rate of 5.2 isn't great, if the same numbers were to be used in the US, the unemployment rate would be 8.8%, so 5.2% is a pretty good number. But on the other hand, it costs a lot more to live here because everything has to be shipped from far away and heating bills are through the roof. With all that being said, let's go to our top 10. Number 10. Manitoba. People move out of Manitoba almost twice as much as they move in, and who can blame them? It is the second most dangerous province, has the second lowest life expectancy, and has the worst schools in the country. Even though the unemployment rate is the lowest of any province at 5.7%, there aren't many good jobs there. Manitoba has the third highest poverty rate, even though the median home value is only 313,000 Canadian dollars. And if that isn't enough to put you off, did I mention that it's the province where people are the least happy and it gets very cold? In fact, Winnipeg is the coldest big city in North America. On most winter days, the wind chill makes it feel like it's minus 30 degrees Celsius. And if you thought it would be better in the summer, you'd be wrong. Manitoba has more than 110,000 lakes, which makes it very humid. Who else do you know likes lakes and humidity? That's right, mosquitoes. In fact, there are so many here that a town in Ukraine is called Mosquito in their language. Now, no province in Canada is a bad place to live, and Manitoba is still a great place to live. It's just that all of the other provinces in this list does everything that Manitoba does better. Prince Edward Island is number 9. Prince Edward Island is the smallest province in terms of both population and size, but it makes up for what it lacks in size with potatoes. Even though PEI is only 0.1% of Canada's total land area, it produces about 25% of the country's total crop of potatoes each year. And since there are only 160,000 full-time residents, there are more spuds than people. You'll also have a great time here in the summer, when all of the tourists rush to the island to eat delicious seafood, see the beautiful countryside, and put their toes in the warmest ocean water north of the Carolinas. Speaking of which, the province's main industries are fishing, tourism, and farming. This is why it has the second highest unemployment rate at 10.6% and the second lowest median household income at 89,000 Canadian dollars. People from big cities that are more expensive have been moving here for the laid-back lifestyle and because they can now work from home. This has caused home values to skyrocket by 33.6% in the last year to 370 grand. This has made it hard for many people to live on Prince Edward Island, but who can blame them for wanting to? After all, it is the third safest province, has the highest overall life satisfaction rate, and has a lot of beautiful beaches. Newfoundland and Labrador come in at number 8. Even though it doesn't get much sun and has bad weather, living in a small town in Newfoundland and Labrador is ranked as the 4th best in Canada. St. John's has the worst weather of any city in Canada, and this is a fact. But when it comes to St. John's, it's probably the most beautiful, unique, and charming city in the country. And it's good that the buildings are so bright and colorful because even on a stormy day, they make you feel better. And even if they don't make you feel better, George Street will, because it has the most bars and pubs of any street in North America. If that also doesn't cheer you up, the people surely will. Newfoundlanders might be the friendliest Canadians, but those with weak hearts should be careful. The terrain, the fog, and the 322 centimeters of snow that fall every year can be quite a challenge. Newfoundland and Labrador is the fourth safest place if you don't mind having a little less sun and are just looking for a beautiful place to raise a family. The schools are great, and even though the unemployment rate at 12.1% is the highest in the country, the median home value at 315,000 Canadian dollars is the fourth lowest. Number 7. Saskatchewan. Even though it gets very cold in Saskatchewan, where temperatures often drop to -40 degrees Celsius, would you rather be warm or wealthy? Saskatchewan residents seem to choose the second option because, despite the cold weather and boring scenery, they have the second highest life satisfaction rate of any province. I think this is because they also have the second highest median household income at 12,000 Canadian dollars. The median home value is only 288,000 Canadian dollars, which is the second lowest of any state. Or maybe it's because Saskatchewan has the most sunshine, even though it's cold for half the year. Also, because the sky is so clear, it is one of the best places to see the northern lights. Regina and Saskatoon are both great cities with growing economies and a lot to do, but the rest of the province is really struggling. For example, Prince Albert has a poverty rate of almost 25%, which makes it one of the most dangerous cities in Canada. North Battleford has a crime rate that is 495% higher than the national average. This is why Saskatchewan has the highest crime rate in the country, 91% higher than the national average. Number 6 is New Brunswick. The next province, which is often the most forgotten, is just a quick 48.5-cent toll ride across the ridiculously expensive Confederation Bridge. But even though a lot of Canadians think New Brunswick is the worst, the numbers say otherwise. Even though the economy is weak and the minimum wage is the lowest in the world and the median household income is only 86,500 Canadian dollars, have you seen the coast? The median home value is only 252,000 Canadian dollars, which is the lowest in Canada. Even though wages are low and taxes are high, the poverty rate is still only at 9.4%, which is the third lowest of any province. The capital, Fredericton, has a great art scene and a lot of green space. St. John has a lot of historic buildings and beautiful nature nearby, as well as an up-and-coming uptown area. Of the three main cities, Moncton has the best jobs, restaurants, and nightlife. Since this is the only official bilingual province, you should probably learn French if you want to move here. We're halfway through the list, but so far, which Canadian province are you most excited to visit? Let us know in the comments below. If you're liking this video, be sure to hit the like button. This will help support the channel and will boost the video to other travel enthusiasts. And now, back to our list. British Columbia comes in at number 5. British Columbia is by far the most beautiful and diverse province. It has places like Vancouver Island, the Okanagan Valley, and Kootenay and Yoho National Parks with a median home value of 891,000 Canadian dollars. This is the highest median home value in the whole country. But the economy is also great, with the highest GDP growth of any province and a lot of good-paying jobs in almost every field. Because of this, it has the third lowest unemployment rate and the fourth highest median household income at 96,000 Canadian dollars. British Columbia has the second highest life expectancy at 82.4 years, so the stress of money can't be that bad. Who wouldn't want to live as long as possible to enjoy these views? Even if you don't like the outdoors, there's still a lot to do here. Vancouver is a beautiful multicultural city with a lot going on, and Victoria is one of the most charming places in the country. but they also have the mildest weather in Canada. Number 4. Nova Scotia. The second smallest province in terms of total area might be the most beautiful. Nova Scotia doesn't waste any space. It has beautiful beaches, forests, lakes, and rivers, charming towns like Lunenburg, Wolfville, Cheticamp, and Quebec, and the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island. Basically, you don't need to look any further if you want to live a quiet life surrounded by beautiful scenery. Halifax is one of the best cities in Canada with a diverse and booming economy. If you want a less quiet life with a beautiful scenery, you don't have to look any further. It's also a great place to start a business because the market is still undersaturated in most fields. Nova Scotia's median household income is just 90,000 Canadian dollars. Wages still have some catching up to do, but as the population grows, so should the wages, and the cost of living isn't too high, with a median home value of just 351,000 Canadian dollars, which is more than worth it. Even more so when you think about how there is almost no crime, and the schools are some of the best in the country. Nova Scotia has much milder weather than some other Canadian provinces, at least compared to the rest of the country. Ontario is in third place. Ontarians can choose to live in big cities, small cities, beach towns, or even the country. There's Toronto, which is a very safe and clean city despite being so big. It's almost the most diverse in the world, but there's so much more to Canada's most populated province than just Toronto. From the beautiful shorelines of 4 Great Lakes to the area around Niagara Falls to Willamette Canyon and Thousand Islands National Park, the second largest province by total area has a lot of beautiful scenery, quaint towns, and places to live in the #cottagecore life. Alberta is number 2. You've probably seen pictures of Alberta on magazine covers and travel inspiration social media. But besides the beautiful mountains and lakes of Banff and Jasper, Alberta also has a very high quality of life. This is mostly because of all of the oil in the area, which has helped the province have the highest median household income at over 113,000 Canadian dollars. And on top of the list, Quebec. Things do get better here over time, because Canada's largest and oldest province is also the best. Quebec is by far the safest province. It has the second most diverse economy, the highest average life expectancy, the second lowest unemployment rate, and the third highest rate of life satisfaction. Even though the median household income of 94,000 Canadian dollars is only the 5th highest, the cost of living is incredibly low, with a median home price of 449,000 Canadian dollars and very low rents in Montreal. This is why the poverty rate is the second lowest, at 8.7%. Speaking of Montreal, its history, culture, and food are all beautiful. Along with beautiful forests, mountains, lakes, and beaches, there are also many charming cities and towns. Only if you don't speak French should you not move here. If that's the case, you should learn French because Quebec is the best place to live in 2022. What do you think of our ranking? Are you planning on moving to Canada anytime soon? Let us know in the comments below which Canadian province you would prefer moving to. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications by hitting that bell icon.